I'm on my way to get grill jacked, and I know they probably mad at me because, okay, this is what they do. It's so hard to find a doctor, a good doctor or a dentist. And then when you find a good doctor or a dentist, the staff is, no matter how great your doctor is, I've said this before, no matter how great your doctor is, if the staff is incompetent, they could kill you, okay? Their negligence could kill you. You know, my teeth never feel clean enough when you're on your way to the dentist. Oh, and I forgot to eat something. I'm telling you, I don't care if I gorge out just before I go to the dentist. I am going to be hungry when I leave. I'm always hungry when I can't eat. So instead of going through the whole thing about how hard it is to find a good doctor, I'm just going to say, but what they do is they force you, they try to force you. I know all of you experience this. You know, when you leave the dentist, they try to force you to schedule your next visit as if you don't have a work schedule to work around. But they're doing it so that they can work around their work schedule. So fuck your work schedule. But theirs is important. They need to know what they have lined up. They need to know about their workload so they'll know how to manage the, time management. But I can't do that. So what they do is they practically force you, put you in a position where I could go through different ways how, but they semi-force you to schedule your next appointment, right? But what this office does is, so let's say they succeed in getting me to schedule on a day that I have a visit. They give me the schedule for the next visit. What they do is, before I even get out of that office good, they send me a reminder for my next appointment. Okay, fine. Maybe it just showed up. Go. It's your turn. Ugh. White guilt just complicated that intersection. So they send you a reminder no sooner than you walk out of the door. And I'm like, okay, it's bad enough that you wouldn't let me schedule an appointment when I needed to schedule the appointment. So, one of the things that I liked about this particular office initially was the fact that I could call and get an appointment and didn't have to wait months out to see them. That's what I used to like about it. Okay, and what I didn't like is as soon as I would make my appointment, they would send me a reminder that same day and or the next day. And on to, for like a week or two. Now keep in mind, they've already made me make the appointment at least a month out. So I walk out the door and they send me a reminder. Like I'm not gonna remember that day or the next day. Bitch, I need the reminder a couple of days before the appointment. Really? Okay. I need a reminder. Privileged people, that's creepy. Don't pace people. So they harass you with reminders, like 3 in one day. The day that you make the appointment, the next day that you make the appointment, a couple of days after that, okay? And I mentioned it before very politely, and I knew because I mentioned it politely that nothing was gonna get done about it. Because my thinking is, even common sense, my common sense thinking is, if you're gonna send out a reminder, and I appreciate the reminder that you're gonna send out, but send out a reminder in reminder time. The day that you set the appointment is not reminder time. A couple of days before the appointment, that's reminding you, hey, you got an appointment coming up, right? So what I did was not responded to any of the reminders. And so then they started calling, saying, we need you to call back to let us know you have an appointment at such and such and such. Bitch, I know I have the appointment. I made the appointment. Y'all are the ones who decided to send me the reminder a month in advance. As soon as I walk out of the door that I have an appointment a month from now, it's not gonna help me. That's not gonna help me. So yeah, I didn't respond, and they called me all the way up until an hour ago. We really need you to call and let us know, you know, that you're gonna make it. Whatever. Well, guess what? I needed your reminder a couple of days before my appointment, not the day that not during my last appointment, not the day after, because I remembered it. You know, in 24 hours I remembered it. When I might not remember, it's gonna be just before it's time for me to come back for the appointment. So I know they mad because I didn't call them and confirm the appointment. But you said you wasn't gonna stalk me a month in advance, a couple of days before the appointment to remind me. That makes sense. That's what a reminder is. But you gonna remind me I got an appointment right after I just made it? No, that don't even make sense. And I'm not gonna gripe about it because nobody has common sense. So when I actually speak common sense to regular human beings out in this world, I already know that it's not going to, it won't take. I know it's not gonna take. I'll finish bitching when I'm done. So everything went okay, so I presume. I wound up snitching on the staff because I was telling him how, you know, I knew I was going to have to make a follow-up appointment. And so I made a little shady statement about, okay, well, if I can get, oh, no. This is what happened. He said, you know, so I'll see you in a month. He was like, unless, you know, there are any problems, and then you can call and come in. And I was like, oh, can I? Because such and such seemed to take condescending pride in letting me know that I would not be able to get in to see you. I was like, he was like, oh, so he did all the work, and after he said, so you can't get in to see me? And I was like, yeah. I was like, well, you know, I was supposed to have come back a year prior, but every 3 months I made an appointment, and I was doing films at the time, so the schedulers get sketchy, which was one of my appeals for him. He's good at what he does too, but I know that means nothing if your staff sucks. But so I was like, yeah, she seemed to take pride in letting me know that it, you know, at least your schedule was booked in such a way that I couldn't see you for, you know, at least a month. He's like, but if anything comes up, of course, an emergency, you know, I could see you, whatever. And then he's like, if you have any trouble, just, you know, ask to speak to me directly. And that's the dude I know. That's the dude I know. Because when she started being all shady, when she started being all condescending with me, that's when I was like, okay, let me text my sister. Because my sister had seen him based on my recommendation before, and I knew she had his personal number. So anyway, long story short, he's a good dude and a talented doctor. So I snitched on them. And he said, well, ask to speak to me. His eyes special. And he knows that my black life matters. I tell you what, though, they are quick to prescribe me some Vicodin. I think I might have taken it once. I picked up a prescription and actually took it once. Like one pill out of the one prescription.
Hi, how can I help you?
I'm picking up I also have a written script. Sometimes my face looks really fresh and sometimes I look really old. And I feel like I'm looking fresh face right now. I don't know if it's because I'm pale.
Okay,
I can either come in or come back later if I need to, I guess.
Okay, yeah,
I need him to get it together. He's got this one hygienist assistant and he's chatty. Now, the thing about chatty people in service positions is they're either friendly and know what they're doing, or sometimes you get somebody that's overly friendly to compensate for their lack of talent and or detail. And so whenever I get someone overly friendly, I pull back to find out which one it is, because if it's because your lack of talent or detail, your friendliness is not going to stop me from calling you out on that bullshit. You know, it's a sociopath thing. And even people who aren't full-blown sociopaths have these tendencies that they learned from all of the other people in the world, the majority of whom are sociopaths. I know I say that word a lot, but that's what it is. There are a lot of them. They just walking around here all day, every day. Everybody. Like, I believe that literally over 90% of the world population is a sociopath. Of the American population is a sociopath. Don't park next to me. Thank you. I appreciate it. So as I'm leaving though, she's like, and this is the one that's condescending with me over the phone. Now all of a sudden she can help me. She can work with me, right? So she's scheduling my appointment. And what day does she pick? November the 8th. Okay, bitch, let me let you know that I know what you did there. So I looked at her. I was like, that's election day, right? She was like, yes. She didn't look at no calendar, nothing. She knew. I was like, oh, okay. So I started looking at my calendar, taking my time looking at my calendar. And I knew that it should be a brief appointment. But these little bitty coded moments of bigotry, I'm gonna stop giving them a pass. I no longer give them a pass. You no longer get a pass. You've been free your whole life. You walk around free to do what and say whatever you feel with no repercussion. So right here, right now, standing in front of me, you're gonna get some level of discomfort within your freedom. And I don't feel any particular way about it. I guess I'll go in this pharmacy and walk around for a second. I should not, so that I don't spend any unnecessary money, but I'm going to go in now. One time I had the munchies, and I had these things in my purse, and they were so delicious. They just taste like cinnamon mints now, but that day I was hungry, man. Ooh, they were delicious. Ooh, I look like I just been through a whirlwind. But y'all, I just found these little bitty cider bottles. But I think they have metal caps. Y'all know I didn't get this for the cider. I got this for that metal, not that plastic cap that seals. No, it's metal. Crap. That's cool, because I could put the juice in these little bottles. I can put the green juice in these little bottles and seal it with that cap. So that's cool too. I could use these little bottles to put the juice in and keep it fresh for 24 to 48 hours. Well, 24 hours. I wouldn't want to. But if I had to keep it fresh, shit, for a week. Those caps seal. Let me drink this at room temperature. It's gonna look like I'm drinking alcohol though. Put this down before people think I'm boozing it up. Don't drink and drive, boys and girls. Ooh, Panda Express has General Style chicken. I might go over there and get me some. You know what? They are quick to give me Vicodin for dental work. Really? Privileged fucking Ryan Lochte looking motherfucker. Fuck boy ass. Bigot bread. Fuck face. We need a better name for racist than cracker.